In my program, in public relations, we learn the golden rule. And if you ever ask a public relations practitioner what it is, they'll always say to start with, know your audience. And so if I were sitting where you are now, about to hear the valedictory speech, I'd ask myself two questions. Who is this girl, and how long is this speech? And so, my name is Michelle, I come from Calgary, and I'll be less than 10 minutes, I promise. But first I want to thank everybody who's come in the audience, especially those who really know how it is to support a student. And we are not the easiest people to support. These are our friends, our family, our spouses. You've cried with us when we opened our acceptance letters, and you held back tears today as we crossed the stage. You've walked alongside us and picked us up when we stumbled, and you let us do our laundry at your house on the weekends. And you let us go grocery shopping in your cupboards when ours were bare. And you let us move back home again and again and soon again. And you lent us money and you never asked for it back. And you've eased our pre-exam anxiety and nursed our post-exam hangovers. And you've been patient and tolerant and kind with our busy schedules and our all-nighters. And your love and support is invaluable. And we would not have made it here today if it was not for you. Thank you. I'd also like to thank Mount Royal staff and administration for being here. It's not the easiest time to work in the world of post-secondary right now, and your presence here today means more than it ever has. Thank you. And to the faculty of Mount Royal University, our teachers, our mentors, our friends, industry would die to have you back. You are experts in your fields and masters at your craft. And yet you have devoted your entire career to building up the next generations of leaders. Thank you for not giving up on us and not letting us give up on ourselves. In honor of the graduating class of 2013, I want to dedicate a quote. Come to the edge. We can't. We're afraid. Come to the edge. We can't, we'll fall. Come to the edge. And they came, and he pushed them, and they flew. Thank you for pushing us. And finally, round of applause for them. And finally, my fellow graduates, welcome. I think that there's a natural curiosity to education these days and how we're going to apply it, and I think that we've redefined what education is to ourselves. For example, I cannot tell you the amount of times that I've had the same conversations, as I'm sure you have over the years, and it goes like this. So, what do you do? I'm a student. What are you studying? Insert program here. And then they pause, and then they think, and then they say, so what are you gonna do with that? And as we started to name the infinite list of courses and options and jobs and careers and focuses that we can choose from, about midway through our programs, we decided to respond, whatever I want to. And we started to believe it, and we leave here today knowing it. And what an eclectic group of individuals we have here in the center. I mean, we have our faculty of business, our faculty of communications, and our faculty of continuing education and extension. And I think that they all should be called the latter. And each of these faculties, graduating today, yesterday, and this afternoon, contribute a unique perspective and essential contribution to society. And if the only constant is change, then it is Mount Royal graduates who stay strong in weathered storms and lead the charge. Welcome to you. I have been in love with education since I was a little girl. You can ask my mother. You know, I used to I used to skip over the cracks on the sidewalk and say, I'm gonna be valedictorian, I'm not gonna be valedictorian. I'm gonna be valedictorian, and I really, really would. I know. And to be standing here is one of the greatest gifts I have ever been given. And since I was 10, I have written and rewritten the speech hundreds of times. And in the latter drafts, I didn't know what to say to you because I didn't know whether to deliver the quintessential valedictorian speech of, way to go, we did it, we worked really hard, now let's go out and change the world. Or to shock you into what you were about to experience. Because I've been working as a new grad for about 4 weeks now, and I can tell you it is exhausting working straight 8 hours a day. And I don't know how anybody makes it to retirement at this rate. But this all seems quite familiar. Because not so long ago, we were first-year students, and we were scared and excited and poor, just like we are now. Some reflection. And as the years passed by, our voice grew stronger, and we started with raising our hands to ask the stupid question everybody wanted to know. And we built that voice. And we budgeted our student loan money, the second year. And when we were so exhausted, we found an empty hallway and a lonely chair, and we cried. But yet we found enough courage to muster up to attend that evening class. And some of us learned that what we were experiencing were signs of mental illness, and if it had been any other campus, they would have forgotten us. But we got help because they valued what we were going through. And we took risks, and we changed our minds, and we had to wrestle with being okay with that. And we waited for years for them to build us a Tim Hortons. And when we were standing in line for 25 minutes and looking to our left, we realized they forgot the other half. We correlated our class lists with ratemyprofessor.com. And we were really excited to know that our potential instructors had a hot chili pepper next to them, along with the rating of 0, which means really easy. And we got to know fear intimately, and we looked it in the eye. And when it said, you have to stop now, you're not good enough, move on, we looked it back and said, I have to keep going. And when we thought that we were done, we did go back every single time. And strangers became friends, and instructors became mentors, and hobbies became vices. And we realized that our responsibility to change the world was starting with ourselves. And we proved that miracles can happen one day at a time, one assignment at a time, and one keystroke at a time. Make no mistake about it. Everything we have learned is applicable. So if the golden rule of PR is to know your audience, it's easy for me because I am one of you. I've walked alongside you. I've worked in groups with you, and you have inspired me day after day to fulfill my own potential. And I hope you remember where you come from. And I want you to carry these last words with you as you go out. Listen to your heart. Live with integrity. Take risks. Don't be so hard on yourself. And remember, it's not really about what you do, but how you do it. Today, we shed the skin of a student and welcome with open arms our new identity as a graduate. Class of 2013. I want to congratulate you as new Mount Royal alumni of Canada's premier undergraduate institution. Congratulations.